Pokemon might be cooked with all of this news coming out. We got reprint updates, we got restock updates, and in this video, I'm going to be going over some of the top products that I think people should be picking up right now. And then also stay tuned to the end of this video. I'll go over a few products that I think you should be staying away from and you should not be buying at this moment. So let's go ahead and get in. We got a few news updates, Pokemon related, and then we'll get into the products. So let's go ahead and switch over. Thank you guys for joining me this week. Welcome to a new video. All right, a couple post here from PokeNotify. We have Prismatic Evolution restocks, this time it being mini tins in Walmart. Now, this was 2 days ago, and this says in the upcoming week. I haven't really seen any. Usually when stuff like this happens, I see stuff on TikTok, like videos of people finding them. I haven't seen any of those yet, but could very easily happen towards the end of this week, because I think a lot of like Walmart restock towards the end of the week when it comes to cards, at least. But once again, reprints and restocks are just weird, because back in the day, you know, a lot of you guys might be new to the hobby, but I say back in the day, it was like 2020, they would just mass reprint ETBs and booster boxes. But nowadays, the reprints, they're just restocks. That's why it's called restocks, are just tins, booster bundles, 3-pack, sticker collections. It's not really anything big, besides like those Costco Sam's Club bundles where we did have prismatic ETBs, Surging Sparks ETBs. But even then, I mean, look at prismatic ETBs now. We're actually going to look at them soon. They're not that big, or that they're not down bad, even with those reprints. So it just is a testament to the market we're in. And then also, like, it's hard to bring down the overall price of stuff when you're just doing these small little restocks that they've been doing. So there's that. And then apparently Lowe's has entered the scalping Pokemon Arena. I didn't know Lowe's even carried TCG cards, but they're not going to sell much of them if they're $130 each. Come on, Lowe's, do better. And then lastly, this is for today. So, I mean, by the time you guys are not going to see this today, but this is just a to point out the restocks happening. 151 mini tins are apparently going in stock at 10 p.m. So I'm going to try to get some of these. I assume there'll be a limit of like 2 or something, or like 10. I'm not sure. Probably just like a case, maybe. Who knows? We'll see if I can get in there. This only has 240 likes, 300k views, so there might be a lot of people trying to get these. We'll see. I got some good luck on those prismatic Lucario boxes a while back, so we will try these out here in an hour or so, because it's currently 8:22. I will let you guys know how that goes in the next video. But all right, enough for the updates. Let's go ahead and get into some of my products. I just kind of want to go over a market update, but also some products that I recommend buying right now. I actually did just buy 2 of these. I picked up $250 worth of prismatic ETBs, and $120 right now. Actually, market price $111. So are they actually $111 though? I'm assuming not, considering the lowest is $120. Yeah, lowest $118, $119 ish. So market price of $111, not exactly true. It looks like it's just there for maybe the past day or so, but lowest listed $120. They are down. I mean, they're down 14-15% in the last month. But hey, this is almost a year old. The time's just going to start ticking down. You know, they might continue to do little reprints like they're doing 151 still. They might continue to do this for the next 2 to 3 years, but the more you stock up, the more you dollar cost average in, I think the more you'll be chilling when it comes to prismatic. I've done multiple videos on prismatic, so that's not what this is about. I want to talk about Pokemon Center TBs in general. I only pulled up prismatic, but these have risen back to like the 332 area. Is this graph correct? I guess they did. They are down 7% and came off of a peak of 400, but got as low as 308, and then, as you can see, around Black Friday, a ton bought, 35 items sold, which I guess that's not that much, but compared to a normal day, it was a lot, and now they're back at 330. I mean, the summer hype of these is crazy. Like, every Pokemon Center ETB you get on now is going to have red in the past 3 months, but it's just because they got kind of bought out and FOMO'd over during the summer, or like, you know, start of fall, like August, September area. And now they're all kind of correcting themselves. So prices of these, I mean, if you're just trying to save yourself $10 or so per ETB, you could maybe wait and find some at a better price, but they're at a bit of a lower point compared to where they were peak summer. We will see I'm interested in Pokemon Monster ATBs the next 6 months. That's one thing I'm going to be keeping my eye on, is how these perform the next 6 months, because I do feel it's going to be interesting. I mean, look at the last 6 months, went from 221 to the start of summer, and then, of course, peaked in at 400. Now back to 330. Do we ever see them at this price again? We'll see, because this is something that never gets reprinted, really. Maybe a small restock every now and then, but Pokemon Monster ATBs have that premium on them. We'll see. Next up, I just want to pull up the Super Premium Collection. Sorry, this is the last prismatic thing, and then we're going to move on to some more newer stuff. But these also down 3.5%, 9% in the last month alone. I actually did buy another one of these because they got as high as like 330 at one point. Yeah, close to 330. And around Black Friday, a lot of these sold. I think TCG Player had another 10% cashback sale. And I didn't even know it was a thing, just because I was kind of out of the loop in November. I didn't buy much, but I would have bought some stuff if I knew about it. But that's why there's such a big sale here. Anyways, they're $267 around then, and even since then, $245. I think I paid like $240 for mine, or maybe like $250, because I got the ETBs and this around the same time, and it was like $500 on the dot. So that's what I paid, and I just picked up another one. I only have a couple of these. I'm not like super stocked up. Never got them when they dropped. So every now and then I'm going to grab one of these, I think, if there's nothing else I'm really interested in buying. But I do love these at like a $245 price. I mean, I do not mind these at this price at all. If they continue dropping, sure, but you're looking at your lowest price since the end of August here. So about a 3-month gap. Now, however, I guess there have been some rumors of these being put or kind of restocked into stores. So I said I don't mind buying them at this price, but also you could wait and potentially get some, maybe down low 200s again. We'll see. It's not like must buy, but if you buy at this price, I mean, if you hold on to it long term, guys, you'll be chilling. All right, Phantasmal Flames. I want to talk about Phantasmal Flames a little bit, just because the drop off since release has been kind of crazy. So they released like November 14th, yeah, and started at 302, now at 253. Pretty good drop off there. We haven't quite seen that. Mega Evolution kind of did it, but I believe this is before Wave 2. A lot of people were talking about Wave 1, Wave 2. I think this is before Wave 2. And I don't know. To me, it's interesting. I only have one of these because I only got the pre-order from Pokemon Center, and I haven't bought anymore else. But the market price of $250 is interesting to me only because GameStop now sells them at $240. So, like, in terms of big retailers, you have to pay like $240. In terms of, local card stores, your local stores, they can probably sell them cheaper than $240, of course. But I just don't think there's a lot of opportunity to actually get these at a cheaper price than online for $250. Like, it's not often these are just getting stocked up in places, you know what I mean? So this is interesting to me. It's one of those ones where it's like, I don't even know what to make an opinion on. Like, I'm just going to kind of steer clear. I'm not going out of my way to buy these. If you buy one, I don't think you're dumb. But it's also just came out, so there might be opportunity down the road. And I don't think we're quite in a market where it was like prismatic and it was just going crazy. You know what I mean? So there might be opportunity to get this at a better price down the road. Now, Blooming Waters is one that I really do like, especially down 4.5% from 177 to 170. Sorry. Hey, this is a great box. Still the cheapest way to get 151. This is one that I recommend for sure. All right, now let's take a look at the Charizard UPC, just because I wanted to get your thoughts on GameStop selling these for $200 or like $199. Pretty unreal, especially considering they're like still one of the main places you might be able to get these. I think these are stocked up in Target and Walmart. It's the booster boxes that aren't in those big box stores, but I've never seen one of these at one of the stores. That's why I don't really know for sure. But 176 for these, I was not certain where they would go. I thought they might float around 200 for a long time, but 176 does surprise me. I'm not going out of my way to really stock up on a bunch of these, but, having a few of them is not going to hurt you, in my opinion. We've seen the Mew UPCs, the Sword and Shield Charizard UPC is good, so,
hey, 176, considering GameStop sells it for 200, I don't mind the second price right now. The secondhand market price, geez. I don't mind it. If you wanted to, it's not the worst decision you can make. Now, Paradox Rift I pulled up simply because I use this as like a mark of where other boxes are at and what to base things off of, because this is my epitome of a mid-tier set when it comes to Scarlet and Violet. And I know some of these, like Phantasmal Flames, is Mega Evolution, but just in general, and this is older, so that does have that to account, but I think it's just middle of the pack set. So it being 237 and then seeing some other ones like Phantasmal Flames at 250, Paradox Rift, of course, has that, like, it's like 2 years old now, or like 2.5 years old. It has that tenure on it. So, but like when I'm thinking of 2 boxes to buy, Phantasmal Flames with that Zard for only, $16 more seems like a steal to me. That's one way to look at it. I just want to like put that out there. And then Destined Rivals, I see some people in comment sections saying Destined Rivals is going to be 2.5K in 4 to 5 years. It might be. It's definitely a great set. But man, it's just like tough spending $400 on a box that came out like barely 6 months ago at this point. Just over 6 months ago. It's just tough to do that for me personally. But I mean, for $400, you get one of these, or you get like what I did with 2 prismatic ETBs and a prismatic SPC for like 500. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of ways to put your 400 to work, but it's almost like 2 Phantasmal Flames or 1 Destined. Which one will be better? Now that's how it was also with like Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies at one point, and of course Evolving Skies was the best. So if history repeats itself, which it often does, maybe this is great at 400. I'm just throwing things at the wall right here, guys. I just want you guys to let me know your thoughts if you have any on these. And then 232 for Mega Evolution. That's what I'm saying. Like Paradox Rift is a mid-tier set. 237, it's older, yes, but 232 for this one, down 16.5%, nearly 10% in the last month. And I think this is better than Paradox Rift for sure. You have that beautiful Gardevoir, absolutely stunning. The gold cards, which are pretty cool, and then some good chases other than just the Gardevoir, the Lucario, the Venusaur. So I personally do want to stock up on a few more of these. Phantasmal Flames does scare me a bit more just because it's newer. I mean, this one is still only came out in September, so it's only like close to 3 months old or 2.5 months at this point. But I do think I want to pick up another box or 2 of these for 230. I don't mind the price at all. It's definitely one that I don't hate. Now I pulled up a few cards just to show you guys. Some are down. I think Greninja is about to bounce back. Okay, you have the Twilight ETB reprints and some other Twilight restocks here and there. And Akazi's go from like 378 to 318. Look, 18 sold on the Black Friday sale. They are down from 357 in the month alone to 318. I think these are going to end up bouncing back at some point. I guess in July they were 260. Maybe it actually doesn't, but I think it does. This is still one of the top cards from all of Scarlet and Violet and is stunning. But I don't really mess with cards anymore. I bought kind of what I wanted, and now I don't really mess with cards. That's why you don't see me talk about them as much, but I do like this one. I want to pull up the Mew just to show you guys what it's been doing. Went on a pretty crazy run. I don't even know if this graph is fully correct, because this Mew at some point was selling for like oh my gosh, almost cussed for like $700. Now it's 513. It says it's as high as it's ever been, but this is not true. This is not true. This Mew was higher at one point, so it's actually down. It was like $700 raw at one point, straight up. So now at 500 is lower. And then I also pulled up Surging Sparks because I think of Paradox Rift as a mid-tier set, and Surging Sparks is less than it in price, bro. Well, not technically. I guess I saw this and I was like, it's less, but it's just barely ahead of it. Surging Sparks is, I mean, after some other releases like, Destin and stuff, this got lowered, but it's still one of like the top 3-4 sets of all Scarlet and Violet. So in my opinion, this is a great buy at 245. I actually picked one up like October, maybe early November, just an extra box, but I already had plenty from when these released way back when. They have been getting stocked up in those vending machines a lot. Who knows how long they'll be in there, but while it's still in there and still going down a little bit, I'm picking some up. It's actually kind of going up slowly but surely, 2%. ETBs is something I want to show up. This is one of the things, now that we're at the end of the video, I am not recommending at all, because not just surging, but just all ETBs in general, man. If you're gonna spend $70, just spend a little bit more and get a booster box, especially if you plan on selling to make a profit. ETBs, I just don't like stocking up on a bunch of them, in my opinion, because even if these go to 200, it's just like these go to 200, this goes to 800, and you just make way more in return on these. And sometimes it's just way easier to get rid of these than ETBs, in my opinion. Same with really the new stuff like this: White Flare, Black Bolt, Mega Evolution, and this one's 128. Mega Evolution, White Bolt, White Flare, Black Bolt, G's are all like $80. I just don't like them at 80. I don't like any of these. If you're gonna get ATBs, just go Pokemon Center ATBs, or just get the booster box. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I don't recommend. I also don't really recommend buying any of these cards right now. I think they'll definitely drop, but this is definitely a really beautiful card. However, you shouldn't be buying it. And then Journey Together is one of my ones that I'm just not sure of, because it is down. So that's the only reason I would maybe think about picking another one of these up. But it's just not really. I never really liked Journey Together, and I still think it's overhyped simply because of the market we're in. So if you're gonna buy booster box, I would not lean this way, especially for 222. I'd go Surging, or I'd even go Mega Evolution for that price, because it's only $10 more, and Mega Evolution is a much better set, in my eyes at least, for the future. Anyways, that is my market update, my Pokemon reprint update. See you guys next video.